Hello, all. I hope all is well. Happy Friday. It's almost what? It's 16 minutes into Saturday. It's snowing here on the East Coast, but I'm glad we're all here. If you see this part is shiny, I had a very nasty blackhead, so please forgive me. But I would like to say greetings once again and welcome to another week in review. You can catch this on the Instagram replay, or you can catch this, live on, you catch it live now, or you can catch it on YouTube. So here we are. Just going to fix my camera. It's a little bit of a mess, so please forgive me. But I would like to start off with the COVID numbers. So according to the Johns Hopkins University and Medicine website, we have global confirmed cases of COVID-19 at 369,521,266. The global death toll is sitting at 5,648,728. U.S. confirmed cases, because I already said the global confirmed cases. U.S. confirmed cases is 74,065,960, and the U.S. death toll is 882,294. So once again, the global confirmed cases of COVID-19 is 369,521,266. The global death toll is at 5,648,728. U.S. confirmed cases is 74,065,960, and the U.S. death toll is at 882,294. In terms of vaccinations, because, you guys see how many people are vaccinated in this country. Hopefully they have the statistics and data visualizations of people that are vaccinated. There are at least about 65% of the country is vaccinated. California got the most people vaccinated at 70 million, which is 27 million people. 27.4 million people are vaccinated in California, because California has about 42 million people. That's the population. And then my state is number 3 at 14.3 million that are vaccinated. So overall, hello to all that came on. So overall, I believe we have 60. I just want to check the actual number of people that are fully vaccinated in this country. Fully vaccinated in the United States of America. Nope, not the UK, the US. Yep. At least 76% of the country have received one dose. And 64% of the country are fully vaccinated. So 211 million are fully vaccinated, while 249 million people have received one dose. And it's 330 million people in this country, and you telling me only 60-something% of the damn country is vaccinated, even though that's a big improvement, but it could be a lot better. And we are almost approaching month 23 of this virus. By March 11th will be exactly 2 years in. That's been declared as a national emergency by the former guy. Yeah. So just to sum all of this up, why I'm saying all of this, because I am so sick of putting on 2 masks every fucking day just to protect myself, and I'm fully vaxxed and fully boosted. But unfortunately, 36% of the country refuse to even get the jab, which I don't understand why we're still having a pro-vax versus anti-vax argument. But you know what? This is what happens when people keep spreading misinformation. And it came from the top 2 years ago about this virus and the vaccine, and stupid ass supplements to take and remedies from these fake ass holistic doctors. So let me just make this plain, because I'm tired of saying the same shit all day, every day. Because I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. But we are not getting out of this pandemic until you get the fucking vaccine. It is not that hard. Get the damn vax. Get the damn vaccine. And after you get it, wear your goddamn mask. I don't want to be seeing your face. I don't. It is not that hard to get the goddamn jab. 2 seconds. Drink water. Don't drink wine the night before and thinking that you're going to get the vaccine that you're going to be okay. No, that's how your ass gets sick. How about drink a lot of water the day before or 2 days before? Get the vaccine. Relax your nerves. Because I had both doses and I was pretty fine. I mean, the first dose make you tired. The second dose, you fine. But you know, people are still with this bullshit. So people who's thinking about, you know, the black seed oil, Hirsch Doomer, all these other dumbass supplements, it's not going to shield you from getting COVID. Even the Omicron, they say it's not deadly, but it's easy to catch and it's very contagious. I know a couple people in my church, they had Omicron. And it's like something attacking your body. It's like having the fucking flu. It's not fun. Get the vaccine. Wear your damn mask. How many times people want to keep saying this shit? It's like telling a kid, clean up your room or clean up, time to do your share. Like, you guys are grown. Grown people. Go get vaccinated and wear your mask. A box of masks is like $5 wherever you go. I got a box of 50 masks for $5 at lot less in the city of New York. Even at a 99-cent variety, so you get a box of masks for like $5, $6. And you don't want the fancy ones. Surgical masks and N95. There's places that give that shit for free. For free. Go to a local hospital. They'll give it to you. Like, come on. Like, let's all stop spreading misinformation. Let's just stop. Because it's annoying and it's fucking nerve-wracking and it's tiresome. You're almost in month 23. Go get vaccinated and still wear your mask. Repeating the same fucking information over and over again. Next up, so you know, there's been big news all week. The SCOTUS. You know, Stephen Breyer has been on the Supreme Court since the 1990s, since I was a kid. He was nominated by Bill Clinton and, thank you, and, you know, been, confirmed by the Senate, I think 98-2 or 97, somewhere around that. It was overwhelmingly, he's been nominated, including the president, who was the senator at the time. So his retirement, I don't know if he was pressured because they pressured RBG and she didn't get out, and unfortunately she died, and Amy Coney Barrett, the Republicans rushed her in there, the Handmaid's Tale lady in there, I guess, with her nasty ass hair looking like she used VO5. But anyway, my personal opinion about that. But anyway, back to the shit. So he made a statement saying there's going to be a civil war, which he ain't lying, because Republicans are making the courts a civil war because the courts is the only thing they got power of, because everything else, you know, people are voting for Democrats. The majority of this country is voting for Democrats in the House and the Senate and even the executive branch. So all they got is the courts, and it seems like shit ain't really working in their favor like that. So, and Mitch McConnell made it very clear that's the one thing Republicans have stood for was the damn courts. And that's something that Democrats, you know, failed to reach. every time when we get power, we forget about the importance of the courts. And during the presidential primaries, Julian Castro was an important voice because he made it about the courts. And the courts were important. That's why 2016 was an important election to vote for. But, you know, I don't want to keep ranting about that because we can go on and on and on about that all fucking day. But anyhow, this retirement is huge. And he's 82 years old. So he has opened up the floodgates of qualified black women to be appointed to the Supreme Court. The first black woman out of 233 years of the Supreme Court. President Biden made it very clear during the campaign that he was going to appoint the first, and he said it in the March debate just before COVID hit our shores, like we went on lockdown, that he was going to appoint a black woman, nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court. He did say that, and he kept his promise. So you have the Republicans pearl clutching. But before I get to that, I want to name all the women, the black women that has been thought of, you know, to be in the Supreme Court. You know, it's a quick search and doesn't take long. You know, black women. Ooh, keep typing a lot. Nominees to the SCOTUS. So the president is expecting to nominate black women. So according to the New York Times, cite the source is always important. So here we go. Hopefully they have the names of people in this article. If not, I have to get a graphic image of, I'm going to have to find a graphic image. It's a lot better if you find a graphic image of the potential nominees to the Supreme Court, the short list. Nope, that's an old list. We're going to find this new list because I'm sorry, everyone. I don't like to, you know, SCOTUS. Photos. So here's a short list of black women that's going to be, you know, potentially a list of black women that could be potentially be nominated by the president. So you have Ketanji Brown, I don't want to mess up her name, Jackson, who went to Harvard at Harvard University and Harvard Law School. She was a federal judge since 2013. President Biden elevated her in 2021 to the U.S. Court of Appeals in D.C. And she also clerked for, you know, Breyer, who is stepping down in her early career. And then we have Leandra Kruger. She also went to Harvard and then went to Yale. Sits on the California Supreme Court. She's 47 years old. She's one of the youngest. Since 2015, argued cases before the U.S. Supreme Court as a federal lawyer, clerk for John Paul Stevens. Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens. Cheryl Eiffel, who is the daughter of Glenn Eiffel, who was the former president of the NAACP. She went to Vassar College, I believe that's on Long Island. She also went to NYU School of Law. She led the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and Education Fund since 2013, spent 2 decades on the faculty of the University of Maryland School of Law in Baltimore. And then we had Candace Jackson Akwami. Ooh, gosh. She went to Princeton University in New Jersey and Yale Law School. She's the judge on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals since 2021. Worked as a staff attorney in the Northern District of Illinois Federal Defender Program and represented indigent clients. And then J. Michelle Childs, who is Claiborne's pick in South Carolina. She went to the University of Florida and the University of South Carolina. She's a federal judge in District of South Carolina since 2010. She was appointed by President Obama. Biden nominated her in 2021 for the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia 7th Circuit and served as South Carolina State Trial Judge. And then Holly A. Thomas, who went to Stanford University in California and Yale Law School, confirmed January 20th of the 9th Appeals Court, served as a judge in Los Angeles Superior Court and Justice Department Civil Rights Attorney Division. So these are the women right here who are being considered for the Supreme Court, the short list. This is an incredible list in my opinion, and I believe these women are highly qualified. So the pearl collection of the Grand Insurrectionist Party, including the Never Trumpers and some moderate Democrats and some centrist Democrats on the white side of the aisle, have a lot to say. But I want to solely, and only focus on the Grand Insurrectionist Party and including the Never Trumpers. So I would like to start with Mr. Bill Kristol, who had a series of tweets about this whole SCOTUS thing. And I would like to start off with a tweet that he tweeted out on Thursday. So he said, straightforward from here. June 30th, court overturned Roe. July 1st, Breyer resigns and says court needs aggressive progressive justices. July 4th, Biden picks Harris for the court. Harris resigns as VP. July 5th, Biden picks Romney as VP and says national unity needed for the world's crisis. That was, I believe, Thursday. And then it gets much more interesting. By the way, I wish Biden hadn't publicly restricted his list to black women. I wish he said he would pick the best candidate, taking many different factors into account, interviewed and varied list, and then chosen a black woman. And then there's more. In case Team Biden doesn't take my shrewd suggestion to put VP Harris on the court, I took a look at the resumes, work, and reputations of three leading candidates, Kruger, Jackson, Childs. Don't fall for the white male gaslighting. They're comparable to Trump's three nominees. Let me read that again. In case Team Biden doesn't take my shrewd suggestion to put VP Harris on the court, I took a look at the resumes, work, and reputations of three leading candidates, Kruger, Childs, and Jackson and Childs, Don't fall for the white male gaslighting. They're comparable to three nominees. William Kristol, former Democrat, then was a Republican for like 30-something years, worked for the Bush administration under Dan Quayle, then vice president back in the late 80s or early 90s. The same man that's responsible for killing Clinton healthcare. Same man that said he couldn't see himself voting for Hillary Clinton back in 2016, criticized her to the fullest, and still criticize her to this day. William, Vice President Kamala Davy Harris is qualified to be our Vice President of the United States. And the last time I checked, she's doing an amazing job. As for Willard Mitt Romney, the man who couldn't even get black people to cross over to the Republican Party, you want him to be our vice president? The same man who voted against the American Rescue Plan, voted against voting rights, George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. I mean, we can go on and on about this shit, right? Who voted to confirm Amy Coney Barrett. That one? You want a Republican vice president to bring unity to world crises? If anybody that created these world crises, it was white men like you, Mr. William. It was you. But I'm going to tell you this, William. Black women are qualified to serve as Supreme Court justices. Because the last three that were confirmed, they couldn't even answer the fucking questions if this law was precedent. So I don't want to hear this bullshit talking about why the president wants to put a black woman on the fucking... First of all, it was black women who put his ass in the presidency, along with the vice president. So if he wants to put a black woman on there, any black woman, I'm for it. The days of white men running this country is now long gone. Your population is shrinking. And that's something you're just going to have to get used to. This world is getting browner and browner. And if you have a problem, you can go somewhere to Greenland, Switzerland. Let's see, what's another predominant white country? Denmark. You go there. Okay? Because the United States of America is changing. And your nieces and nephews or whatever kids you have are dating people outside their race. And that's something you're going to have to get used to. So I want William Crystal, because you don't got a middle name. I want you to shut the whole entire fuck up. And keep VP's name out your mouth. Because she's not stepping down for no Willard Mitt Romney to take her place, who is going to vote against everything that the president and her stand for. Point, the blank, and the period. Now, because that's segging way into my time to read. See, I'm almost done. We have Miles Taylor, Mr. Anonymous. Mr. I'm so scared to say my name in an article. I wrote about my employers. And I revealed myself after when I left. Yeah, that Miles Taylor. His punk ass said this. Dear President Biden, nominate Harris to Supreme Court, bring Mitt Romney in as Vice President, crush Trump in 2024. And after I quote tweet his ass and say, I'm going to get your ass tonight, he said this. I don't blame you. The guy is a loon. So I don't know who's a loon. My president or you. If anybody's a loon, a punk, a coward, it's you, Mr. Taylor. You couldn't even reveal yourself in that article, in that New York Times op-ed. You were the anonymous. That's right, your punk ass was an anonymous. You telling the president to nominate the same man who voted against the Voting Rights Act, the American Rescue Plan, anything but black people, just because he marched with some protesters in the Black Lives Matter march, don't mean shit. His voting record don't match with his advocacy or his concern. It doesn't. And no way in the history of this country, a Democratic president will bring in a person that's conservative, that defines themselves a conservative, to be their vice president, they right-hand man, when they're going to sink them back on everything, like vote against everything they stand for, or speak out against everything they stand for. But Miles, since you want to be a smartass, to respond to my tweet saying I'm going to get your ass tonight and saying you're a loon, you're the fucking loon, you're the punk, you're a coward, you're a loser, you're irrelevant, but you decide to make yourself relevant by tweeting that stupid shit. Yeah, you're just as dumb as Bill Kristol. So I would like for you, sir, to find a job somewhere in foreign policy, somewhere where you at. Because TV ain't it. Because you will always be remembered as the anonymous source who couldn't stand up to Donald Trump's punk ass. And that's all I got for your punk ass. And that's another thing. This is to all the white men in the punditry, whether you define yourself as a moderate Democrat, a centrist Democrat, or even a never Trumper, conservative Republican. Willard Mitt Romney and Elizabeth Lynn Cheney, will not replace Vice President Kamala Davis Harris as the president. As the vice president. Let me repeat that again. Sorry, at the burp. To all the white men in the media punditry, Democrats and Republicans that are white men, Elizabeth Lynn Cheney, Willard Mitt Romney is not replacing Vice President Kamala Davis Harris, period. They're not for the same things as President Biden. They are conservatives. They are Reagan conservatives. And Reagan conservatives are not friends to the Democratic Party. Not at all. So all of this Republican fever dream, y'all could take that bullshit somewhere else. And for the last fucking time, Vice President Kamala Davis Harris is not stepping down to be an associate justice so she could crow with the rest of them. That ain't her thing. Y'all mad because she's close enough to being the president of the United States, and it's hurting y'all. This country is changing. The country is changing. And y'all need to get used to it. If you don't like it, there's Norway, Denmark. It's all that shit for y'all. If you don't like it here. And everywhere around this world is changing. So you're going to have to get used to it. Stay mad, hoes. And national progressives. Black women are going to be on the Supreme Court. A black woman is going to be on the Supreme Court, whether you like it or not. Your white dusty faves or your token faves, they're not going to be on the Supreme Court. You criticize the president and you're a lawyer or a judge, you're not going to be on the Supreme Court. Whether you're in the same party as him, you're not going to be on the Supreme Court. He's going to pick who he wants to pick. And the names I just read, watched the video earlier, are more than qualified than the last 3 appointees that were confirmed to the Supreme Court. So this is exactly why you should have voted in 2016, because now you're going to have to deal with the consequences. Voting has consequences. Elections have consequences. Should have voted in 2016. But your stupid asses didn't. Now y'all want to pay attention to the courts like y'all woke and shit. And don't use the term woke. Neither. I don't like when y'all use it. Especially you white progressives. I don't like when y'all use it. Don't use the word woke. Okay? Oh. I had the mainstream media on here, and speaking of the mainstream media, there's one particular person who said something, they want Trump back in office. Let's see who it is. So, according to Real Clear Politics, Leonard said, "Where is Trump? Democrats are weak and promising stuff they can't deliver." Leonard McCleavely. Or I should say, excuse me. Leonard, this is like the second video that I made calling you out, but because I'm not calling you that Charlemagne the God bullshit. Your name is Leonard, and that's what I'm calling you. Leonard, no one needs Donald John bum-ass Trump. Democrats are not weak. If it wasn't for Democrats, you wouldn't have the shit that you have now. No American Rescue Plan, no health care. You probably get some child tax credit because I think you have a kid somewhere. I don't know. You wouldn't have none of this bullshit that you have. Not even the freedom to speak, because the then president wanted to eliminate everyone that spoke out against him, including your dumb ass. But then again, I don't expect much from you, Leonard, because you had Rush Limbaugh's racist ass on your show, and y'all had to put out a statement saying y'all want to hear everybody's view when Rush Limbaugh is an openly racist motherfucker. But, you know, that's on y'all. But Leonard, I never liked you. I never liked you on the radio. I never liked you on MTV because you was never my cup of tea. There's always something wrong with your face all the time. Like you don't have good, charisma, because you don't have charisma. And you never know the facts when you're speaking about something, about a policy. You never have the facts. You always making up shit out your ass. That's the motherfucking problem. And you thought you did something when you interviewed the vice president. Didn't I know you was going to get ref and filth by the vice president and had to put the hand up on you to let you know that she's the vice president. And you will respect her and respect the president. And then you came back and said, that's the Kamala I like. No, motherfucker. That's the Kamala we always love. We don't like you. Okay? We don't like you. So if you don't know something, Leonard, if you don't know anything that's going on, it's always good to do research or just shut up. It's not that hard. There's stuff that I don't know. And I don't comment on any of it because I don't have the ability to speak on it. And FYI, this administration got more stuff done than the previous administration did for 4 years for black people. Because last time I checked, they didn't do shit. Michael Richard Pence and the bum himself didn't do shit. They ain't do nothing. Nothing. I ain't get shit. All what happened is my taxes went up. Because I live in a blue state. We live in the same state. You know taxes in New York went up. Taxes in New York went up. Taxes in New Jersey went up. Because of the bum and his administration. So nobody needs Donald bum-ass Trump. Because his ass is about to go to jail. Either on state charges or federal charges. So please, do us all a favor and just shut up. Don't speak about politics because you don't know anything that's going on with this administration in terms of policy. Like, I'm so sick of people saying shit out their motherfucking asses and don't know shit. That don't know shit. It's a lot of people that don't know shit. Like, if you don't know something, right? If you don't know anything, it's best to do research. Or just don't say anything. As my good sis always said, read some damn books before coming out your face and talking shit that you don't know. Because if you don't read no damn books, how are you going to communicate shit to people? Read some damn books. Or just stay silent. It's not that hard. And if people, I'm going to say this because I feel like I got to catch myself saying this for like the last 18 millionth time. If you don't like the content of my posts, videos, audios, pass on by. Scroll on by. Don't go in my mentions or in my comments and make an ass of yourself because I will embarrass the fuck out of you. Trust me. I'm just that petty to do so. I'm one petty ass person. I may be nice, but if you making an ass of yourself in my mentions, you will either get ignored or get embarrassed. So pick your poison while you do. Accusing people of being a hater of a person just because they like a particular candidate doesn't mean they hate the incumbent. You can be critical of their issues. Yes, you can. But you don't have to hate the person. There's too many of these keyboard warriors behind the keyboards. But when you approach them and comfort them, they're ready to cry saying you're an anti-Semite, you're a race baiter, or you're just the worst person on this app. And I got a lot of that. Some of these people are either fat people or children on the internet and fucking around with adults. And when you fuck around with adults and you like 16, 17, you'll get a bad decision. That's why most of the time it's always good, and I say this, it's always good to avoid conflict in person and online because you will not get a great decision. So I mean this sincerely in the bottom of my heart. If you don't like the content of my videos, of my posts, of my audios, pass on by. It's free to mind your business. Free 99. Take that advice or get a wrong decision. Pick your poison. But until then, folks, have a good night. If you live in the East Coast or on the eastern borderline, prepare yourself for the snow. If you live in the Midwest, prepare yourself for the cold. If you live out west, make sure you stay hydrated and get some water. So until then, have a great night, y'all.